Jim Carrey was noticeably absent from this year's Oscars, and that alone sparked a wave of questions online. People started wondering why he didn't show up. Adding to the mystery, someone named Alexis Stone had earlier claimed that he acted as Jim's body double at the César Awards in France. That only made people ask an even bigger question. What actually happened to the real Jim Carrey? Some believe the answer could be far more unsettling than expected. It's also been a while since Jim has been publicly active, and now Katt Williams is speaking out again, suggesting that there may be much darker forces operating in Hollywood than most people realize.
Aware of everything. And the reason why I ask you that is, even though if you know how to appear and disappear, right?
Right.
It seemed like you still hear things and see things, just from the conversation that we had before we sat down.
That's part of the disappearance. Like I'm saying, I'm not disappearing to twiddle my thumbs. I'm disappearing to do the behind the scenes work, the inner work, the shadow work necessary to pull off what it is I'm trying to pull off against at times supernatural
Katt has been talking for years about how Hollywood operates, often describing it as a place where people who speak up are either pushed out or disappear from the spotlight entirely. One name often brought into that conversation is Jim Carrey. Over time, Jim built a reputation for being outspoken, frequently criticizing the lack of authenticity in Hollywood and even referencing powerful secret groups like the Illuminati. Some believe he paid a price for that honesty, pointing to moments like when he was reportedly removed from events in 2019.
Carrey is nominated for his show Kidding.
Yeah. And, yeah.
Interestingly, Jim handled those situations in a very composed way. To viewers, it may have seemed awkward or unusual, but he went along with it almost as if it were part of a performance. Moments like these have contributed to the theories people discuss today. A few years earlier, Jim also made headlines during the 2016 Golden Globes when he delivered one of the most unconventional speeches of the night. Instead of sticking to typical humor, he questioned the entire idea of awards themselves.
I am two-time Golden Globe winner Jim Carrey. You know, when I go to sleep at night, I'm not just a guy going to sleep. I'm two-time Golden Globe winner Jim Carrey going to get some well-needed shut-eye.
The audience laughed. Denzel Washington was even seen smiling. But beneath the humor, Jim was making a deeper point. He explained that while awards seem extremely important within Hollywood, they're actually insignificant when viewed from a broader perspective. In essence, he was questioning why so much importance is placed on these symbols and whether the industry promotes artificial success. Messages like that don't always sit well in Hollywood. That's why some fans connect his story to what Katt Williams has been saying. They ask, why do people who challenge the system often fade away afterward? After reaching the peak of his career, Jim began speaking more openly about fame, describing it as something that can feel empty. He also explored ideas about identity, suggesting that the personalities people see on screen are just constructed roles. Some believe Jim simply experienced a deep spiritual shift. He has spoken about influences like Eckhart Tolle and his search for meaning beyond fame. Others, however, think something more serious happened. They point out that Jim openly criticized Hollywood, mocked award shows, and rejected the idea of celebrity status altogether. This ties back to Katt Williams' warning that when someone inside the system becomes too outspoken, they gradually get pushed out. Supporters of this idea often mention Corey Feldman, who spent years trying to expose alleged abuse in Hollywood, but claims he was ignored and sidelined.
Freeze. You're in shock. I mean, children aren't supposed to handle that sort of stuff. I can tell you that the #1 problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be.
Nobody talks about.
That's the big secret.
And it's widespread?
Oh yeah. I was surrounded by them.
For years now, as evidenced on Nightline in 2011, Corey Feldman has been claiming that he and his good friend, the late Corey Haim, were victims of station when they were young actors. Last year, he opened up to our Alex Hudgens.
Kids are scared. You know, kids don't think I'm going to go. First of all, for me, the person that was doing it to me the most, you know, well, I mean, I could say that the two people that did it to me were both close friends of mine, or so I thought.
Feldman claims Haim endured more than him. In his book Choreography, he alleges that Haim was raped on the set of the 1986 film Lucas. The following year, 1987, their film The Lost Boys came out.
It was when we were both on the set of Lost Boys that, things were happening to both of us, not from anyone on the set. I mean, I clear that out, but, outside elements.
How did people not know when these are two, or did they know and they just weren't doing anything about it?
I mean, I know he told a lot of people. That's the thing that's so upsetting to me. It's not like it's just me that knows this story.
Other people know.
A lot of people know.
They're still working, they're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
Back in 2013, on The View, Feldman was insistent that perpetrators are still out there, but says he won't name names due to statute of limitation laws in California. He also has another reason that echoes something we've heard regarding Harvey Weinstein.
From what I've seen, every time somebody tries to bring up a public name and they have a lot of money and power and a publicity machine behind them, the person who does the accusing is the one that ends up.
Elijah Wood, known for playing Frodo Baggins in The Lord of the Rings, has also spoken about similar concerns. Some people find it interesting that despite his fame, he hasn't consistently landed major blockbuster roles in recent years, which raises questions for those who follow these theories.
In an interview with the Sunday Times, the former child star alleges that has been a real issue in Hollywood. He tells the publication, quote, "There are a lot of vipers in this industry, people who only have their own interests in mind. What bums me about these situations is that the victims can't speak as loudly as the people in power. That's the tragedy of attempting to reveal what is happening to innocent people. They can be squashed, but their lives have been irreparably damaged." The 35-year-old adds, "If you're innocent, you have very little knowledge of the world and you want to succeed. People with parasitic interests will see you as their prey."
I can get a good career doing this. It's going to be good.
Wood says he was not a victim of a because his mother Deborah protected him and he avoided those kinds of situations. He goes on to allege that even as an adult in the industry, he has been, quote, led down dark paths to realize that these things probably are still happening.
All of this leads some to believe that Hollywood operates as a tightly connected system, where powerful individuals have the ability to control careers and silence dissent. Actress Rose McGowan once described the industry in a way that shocked many people, not just as unfair, but as something closer to a cult. According to her, Hollywood isn't just about making films. It's a system built on unwritten rules that everyone is expected to follow. When she entered the industry at a young age, she said she quickly realized there were strict expectations about appearance, behavior, and communication. If those expectations weren't met, opportunities could disappear almost instantly. She explained that newcomers are often guided into these standards by agents and insiders. In her experience, she was told that her looks needed to meet certain expectations to succeed. If influential people didn't approve, she risked losing opportunities altogether.
Pass these rules on to female agents. Were big in my life, and they had definitely a hand in telling me the rules that I had to abide by, such as, you have to have long hair, so the men in Hollywood want to have sex with you. If they don't want to have sex with you, they're not going to cast you.
As more people began questioning the system, another name kept coming up, Dave Chappelle. For years, he has been seen as one of the boldest voices in comedy. Many still remember when he walked away from a massive deal with Comedy Central at the height of Chappelle's show. Reports suggested he turned down around $50 million. According to Katt Williams, Dave made that decision to protect his principles. The move turned Dave into a symbol of integrity for many fans. Some believe he saw something behind the scenes that made him uncomfortable, while others think he simply refused to let the industry control him. He even addressed powerful figures like Oprah Winfrey in interviews while standing firm in his views.
Conspiracy theorists to a degree. Like when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress, at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, these brothers gotta wear a dress. This happened to me. I'm doing a movie with Martin. Yeah. The movie's going good. So I walk in a trailer. I'm like, man, this must be a wrong trailer because there's a dress in here. They come in. The writer comes in. I think he's the writer. He's like, Dave, listen, we got this hilarious scene where Martin's sneaking out of jail. So he disguises you as a prostitute. And he put this dress on, and what is it? Nah, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with it. That should have been in a discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. all the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're right. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave. Listen, we got it all set up. We're supposed to shoot. Every minute your waist costs this much money. You know, the pressure comes in. Huh. And I'm not wearing no dress, man. I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't need to wear no dress to be funny. What am I, Milton Berle? You know, we're going like this. And then finally he's like, and he leaves. And then like the director comes, Dave, it really would be great if you wear the dress. What is wrong? What is this, Brokeback Mountain in here? So that I'd wear the dress. I don't want to wear the dress. I want to wear this dress. You know, I mean, this is, oh gosh, this guy's so difficult. They leave. Now the producers come on, David, would be so great. I mean, and then I started thinking about all the comics that I've seen. Man, you know, strong brothers, why they be putting us in these dresses? But the minute it was clear, I was adamant, I'm not wearing a dress. I'm not wearing the dress. All right, fine. Think of something else. Guy comes back 10 minutes later, the whole new scene. Hot damn, how did you write the scene so fast? You know, it's like, so you gotta take a step.
Regardless of the reason, his actions added to the idea that powerful forces may be operating behind the scenes in Hollywood. However, years later, new criticism began to emerge. Singer and whistleblower Jaguar Wright has questioned whether individuals who once resisted the system can eventually be pulled back into it. She claims that Dave Chappelle's recent work feels different from his earlier, more rebellious style. In her view, he may have either changed his stance or been influenced by the system he once challenged.
That Dave Chappelle is doing right now, for me, it's just what it sounds like to me is that they took the bullet points of everything that they were trying to push during the trial and they gave it to you to do this beautiful monologue, trying to make it seem like, yeah, because government is after black man and whatever. And I've never really spoken out against Dave Chappelle. Like I said, you know, I had a lot of admiration for him when he turned down the $40 million with Comedy Central once upon a time ago.
I remember that.
Yeah. I guess he changed his mind when they made it $60 million in Netflix. And now Charlamagne is getting $200 million out of Netflix. He's getting more than the rest of these.
No, for real.
And who's Charlamagne? Wendy Williams' sidekick that he allegedly helped stab her in the back. I mean, and he got a whole child case, G. He got a whole great case. Like, all these people are weird and sick and got a lot of going on. But everybody's getting rewarded. Isn't that lovely? Do that grand. Everybody's getting paid. I'm sure Joe Budden is losing his mind. That $20 million that he got out of Patreon is looking like change compared to what Charlamagne got going on over there.
Mm. You know,
I don't know, maybe running around butt naked in the middle of the night, banging on doors. Or
now you know, episode 2 of that documentary, it was titled "What Goes Down Must Come Up," and they're referencing what Diddy was saying as far as what goes up must come down, and what comes down must go up. And you're speaking of these other individuals, and yes, they have had some dark days. Are they not?
Dark days. Call some dark days if you're able to elude them, never fully, thoroughly be investigated for them, never have to go to court, be tried, or go to jail like everybody else has to when they do crazy.
All of this leads to a bigger question. Why do some celebrities who speak out seem to disappear or step away from the spotlight? What is actually happening behind the scenes? And who, if anyone, is allowing these alleged systems to exist? These are serious questions that continue to spark debate. What's your take on it all? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.